Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, D&J Reads. I'm Danielle, and today I'm going to be talking about my quarter one bookish stats and favorites. So I am a huge fan of graphs, charts, statistics, everything along those lines. So this is right up my alley. I do keep a reading journal that I do monthly spreads in, and I put all of the books that I've read in it, my favorite books, how many days I've read, how many pages I read that month, what type of books I did read, if they were physical, audio, ebook, mixed. So it was a little bit easier for me to compile all this information since I had it laid out so nicely. The reading journal I use is an Archer and Olive reading journal. I've used this book journal for probably 3 years now. I'm on my 3rd year, and I will probably be able to get 1 more year out of this before it explodes. It's quite thick. But if you haven't seen my reading journal flip through video, I flip through last year's journal and I go through what my layout for this year's journal is. So definitely go take a look at that video. But I have started filling things in. So my reading tracker is filled in a little bit more. I do track my reading at a glance. So if I've read a physical ebook or audio, I have that filled in. And then over here, I am doing a challenge. So I've got those filled in already. And then, like I said, I do have my monthly spread. So I'll just give you a quick view of that. So we've got January, we've got February, and we've got March filled in. So I'm just going to run through those stats with you really quick, and then I'll get on to some of my bookish favorite items for quarter one. So first up, I was really proud. I read 82 books in the first quarter. So that's January, February, and March. That is about normal for me. I read around 300 books a year. So I'm kind of right on track to where I need to be. And then out of those 82 books, 13 of them were physical, 61 of them were ebooks, 3 of them were audiobooks, and 5 of them were mixed media, which means I probably read an audiobook and an either ebook or physical book at the same time. I did do a lot of rereads already this year, so a lot of those were the ones that are mixed media. One of my goals for this year was to actually not read every single day like I did last year. I felt like I was kind of forcing myself to read on some of the days that I really didn't want to read. So this year that actually has come true. I did skip 3 days. So out of the 91 days of the first quarter, I read 88 of them. And then the total amount of pages that I read in the first quarter was 24,793. So since I'm talking about goals right now, another one of my goals this year was to finish more series than I start this year. And I'm actually happy to say, as of right now, I've only started 13 series and I finished 14. So that is still holding true. Hopefully for the rest of the year, it holds true as well. I am known to start series and pretty much never finish them. I think I have like 160 right now that I'm in the middle of. So now on to my star ratings. I do rate half stars. I use the call pile system created by G from Book Roast, and it goes through a whole bunch of different things, and you give it a number to say how much you liked it or not, and then it actually gives you a rating. So I do use the half-star ratings, but as of this year so far, for 5-star reads, I've read 24, which is really, really good for me because last year alone, I only read 43. So I'm halfway there already. But I will say, out of those, only 16 of them were new books. 8 of them were rereads to me. I did read a whole ton of Sarah J. Maas books at the beginning of the year, leading up to House of Flame and Shadow. I wanted to reread all of Crescent City as well as ACOTAR. So those were a lot of my mixed media ones that I read, and I love them all, so I knew I was going to give them 5 stars. Then next up, for 4.5-star books, I had 14, 13 of them being new, and 1 of them being a reread. For 4 stars, I had 26 books, 23 of them being new, and 3 being rereads. So for 3.5 stars, I had 17, and all of them were new reads to me. And then for 3 stars, I did have 1 of those, and that was a new read as well. I'm really happy with those numbers. I don't tend to give a lot of 1 or 2 stars out unless I really don't like the book at all. But I feel like I'm pretty good about picking books that I know I'm going to like, seeing as I've read over 1,000 books now, and I just kind of know my own taste, so I really only pick up the ones that I think I'm gonna like. So just really quickly, I'm going to go through all of the books that I gave 5 stars to this quarter, just in case we have any of the same tastes. Maybe you'll want to pick these up as well. So those books are Howl for the Gargoyle by Catherine Moon, Nobody's Darlin' by Sarah Blue, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, Role Playing by Kathy Yardley, Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman, House of Earth and Blood, House of Sky and Breath, House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, Midnight Ruin by Katie Robert, Bride by Allie Hazelwood, The Risk, Sidetracked, and All the Lies by S.T. Abbey, Being Pucked by Rosemary A. Johns, Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff, Kissing Lessons by Cassie Mint, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, A Deal with a Demon by Amy Wright, Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff, The Homewrecker by Sarah Kate, One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, Your Coffin or Mine by Jacqueline Hyde, and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I absolutely loved every single one of those books and had such a good time reading them. If you pick any of those up from my recommendation, please let me know what you think of them. I would love to talk to you about them. So I will quickly talk about 3 of them, and they're going to be my favorite books of each month. So January, my favorite book was Nobody's Darlin' by Sarah Blue. I read this book when I was homesick with COVID, and I did not want to put it down. It just captured my attention and actually took my mind off being sick. So I really, really loved this one. So I knew I had to get myself a copy of it. This one is the special edition, actually. It does have the shiny cover, and the MC patch is actually shiny as well. And it is signed. It says, Danielle, you're gonna fucking ruin me, darling, Sarah Blue. And I'm so happy to have this copy. So this follows Lily, whose heat is coming in pretty quickly, but her family wants to sell her off to a different pack. They don't want her staying around the motorcycle club because they think it's going to be too dangerous for her, but Lily actually loves this life and she really wants to stay here. New guys are trying to patch into the club, and Lily actually has a connection with some of them. One of them is her estranged stepbrother. Another is an alpha who is really good with the money, and then there is also a beta that she really likes. Her stepdad is up to some shady stuff though, and another motorcycle club is trying to come in and take over. So this was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. The guys were amazing. And actually in the inside of this book, each chapter that starts with one of the people has this art on it. And I absolutely love it. So that was Lily. We have Tate, who is her stepbrother. We have Cash, who is the alpha that's great with money. And we have Axel, the beta. I can't wait for more to come out in this series. I just love Sarah Blue's writing so much. She does such great Omega verses, and I've really loved her other ones. So if you are into Omega verse, definitely give her or this one a try. Then my favorite book of February, to no one's surprise, was House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. This book was my everything in February. I had such a good time with it. I tabbed, I annotated. I loved this book so much. I know this was pretty divisive. Not everybody actually loved this one as much as I did. I actually have a whole video where I am vlogging my reading experience for this. So if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions, definitely go watch that. It is spoiler filled though, so beware. But I absolutely loved this, and I want to read it again at some point this year, but it will probably be closer to the end of the year because I do want to read the whole Throne of Glass series again and then go back to this one to see if I can find any more callbacks to that series that I might have missed because I haven't really read it recently. So if you don't know, this is the finale to the Crescent City series, at least Bryson Hunt's story in the Crescent City series. There are going to be more. She has said that she wants to write more, but they will follow other characters, kind of like how A Court of Silver Flames did. It followed Nesta, and Feyre and Rhysand weren't really as prominent in that book as they were in their part of the series. But since this is the third one, I don't really want to say much more, but it's fantasy, there's fae, there's angels, there's a whole run of different kinds of creatures in this series, and if you love fantasy romance, definitely check this out. And then lastly, for March, my favorite book was The Homewrecker by Sarah Kate. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of it yet. I do want to get a copy of the one with the model cover. I really, really like the look of that one. I just have not gotten around to it yet. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, which is how I read most of her books, and then if I love them, I will buy myself a copy. So this one is a poly romance. It's the second in the Good Brothers series. It does follow a couple who's having a little bit of problems, and there is cheating in this one, so just know that. I don't think the cheating was really bad, though. It wasn't like cheating, because they both found out pretty quickly, and it was like kind of okay. So if that's a problem for you, just know that going in. But oh my gosh, I love this book. So this couple gives out their spare room to someone who has lost their home, and he needs a place to stay, so he ends up staying with them. He knew the husband when they were younger because he was one of the husband's brother's best friends, so he was around them, and things go from there. The husband and the wife end up cheating, and everything comes together in the end, but this story was amazing. Poly romances and reverse harems are like some of my favorite books, and Sarah really knows how to do it. I can't wait for more in this series. I'm really enjoying this one. And if you're into poly romances, the Salacious Players Club has Give Me More, and that was, again, another amazing story by Sarah, so try these out. But yeah, so that was actually a lot of Sarah's. I had Sarah Blue, Sarah J. Maas, and Sarah Kate, so I guess I just have been reading a lot of books by Sarah's and loving them. So then next up, I just want to show you some of my favorite bookish things and items that I've been using in the first quarter that I've been really, really enjoying. First up is going to be my Kindle. I feel like this is a given. I am a huge ebook reader, and I have had this Kindle for a while now, but I kind of fell off using it. I was just reading on the Kindle app on my phone all the time because you have the continuous scrolling on that, and it was just going a lot quicker for me. But this past quarter, I picked back up my Kindle, and I am loving this thing again. I take it with me wherever I go, and this does not ever leave my side. Yes, I am reading Manacled right now, and yes, I am loving it. So I just love that the Kindle isn't as harsh on my eyes as my phone that has the blue light and everything on it. I really like that this is just something that I can't get distracted on because there's no apps and nothing like that. It actually lasts for a really, really long time too. I keep it on airplane mode so that doesn't drain the battery as fast as if you were to just keep it off airplane mode and connected to the Wi-Fi all the time. It's always pinging that Wi-Fi, so just turn that off and you'll save so much battery. And then secondly, I'm also loving the fact that I got a clear case for my Kindle so I can put stickers behind it. I am a huge sticker fan. I have tons of stickers. I actually have stickers on the back of my phone. I have a clear case, and they're all bookish stickers. We've got the otter from Crescent City. Isn't he so cute? And then I have a Dead Palms MC for my favorite book of January. And then we have some other ones that I got from Faded Romance, and then we have a Sucker for Smut sticker. I just love that I can take these off and change them out whenever I want to and kind of dress up my Kindle however I'm feeling at that time. And then next up, one more item for my Kindle, seeing as I'm using it every day. I do have this clicker. I got this for Christmas like 2 Christmases ago from my mother-in-law. I really loved it then, but then again, I fell off reading my Kindle, but I am using this pretty much every day now. Essentially, you just slide this right onto the Kindle here, and it sits here so that when you want to change the page, all you have to do is hit the button and it does it for you. So I can pretty much set my Kindle up wherever I want, have this clicker, and just start clicking away. Loving this item, and I definitely think this is something you need if you are a big Kindle reader. And then last up for the items that I'm really enjoying, I have been reading a whole ton more physical books this year because I'm trying to get through my physical TBR. I'd like to somewhat get that down a little bit. I probably have like 150 books that I haven't read, so we're working on that. But my favorite thing is this book jacket. I got this in an Illumicrate and I absolutely love it. It is a jacket and not a sleeve. So You take it and you slide it onto the hardcover. I take the book dust jacket off because I don't want that getting ruined, but sometimes with lighter colored books, you don't want your fingerprints getting on them and everything like that, so this is perfect. I just put it on, the book is protected. I only use this at home though, I wouldn't take this out with me. If I'm going out, I would take a book sleeve, which is also something that I'm really enjoying. So I have a couple different ones. This one's a fairy loot. This one I just got off Etsy, and I love these so much. The fairy loot one does have a zipper at the top, and this one just has a button clasp, but this one has pockets so you can put, if you're annotating or anything, you can put those supplies in there. Sometimes I'll just throw them in here as well and zip it up, but I feel like a book jacket or a book sleeve is something that everybody could use. But that's it for my bookish stats and favorites for Q1. If you have anything that you're really enjoying, please let me know down in the comments. I love finding new ideas, and I will see you next time. Bye!